Hi, this is Kevin from Christ Connection, and welcome to day 3 of our journey towards a joy-filled relationship with God in our prayer life. In day 1, we looked at the idea that relationship is the foundation of our prayer life, and using that and the reminders that are built in there to find the solidness that will build us a prayer life for the rest of our life. Then yesterday we talked about coming to Jesus like a little child and the gamification of our prayer life, having some fun with our prayer life and seeing if that will help us engage in a new way. Well, today I want to give you something that I believe could help you change your prayer life to accelerate it in a powerful way. And that is the power of praying big. As I travel around the country speaking at churches and conferences and seminars, I come across a lot of Christians who are bored in their prayer life. They're bored in their walk with God. And part of the reason is they're playing it safe and praying it safe by their prayers. What if we were to take it to a whole new level? What if we were to really pray big? Without faith, it's impossible to please God. You have not because you ask not. We're invited into this journey of prayer that could take us to a whole new level. Now, I'm not talking about, that brand new car, the Corvette, or the $1 million. Because those things are going to fade away anyways, unless you need it for ministry or something like that. But I'm talking about big, audacious prayers that could change the world, could change your life. I recently encountered a book called Praying for Your Elephants, and in that book the author challenges people to come up with a list of 100 things that they're going to ask God for. And he challenged people to think about specific things that you would actually know when God answered those prayer requests. What are those specific things for maybe your relationship with your spouse, maybe a relationship with your family, maybe relatives or friends or family that need to come to relationship with Jesus Christ that you're going to pound at and begin to ask God for and believe God for. What are those things that you could ask for, those big things, those big dreams? One of our missions at Christ Connection is the dream of seeing 100,000 people praying for their pastor. What could happen in this world as people began to pray for their pastor, begin to pray, and then as a result of that, pray for their church? That's really the reason we want people to begin to pray and dream and believe that God would do something new in their church and through their church into the community, to touch their community and see their community come to faith in Jesus Christ. Now, what could you pray for? Maybe you could say, I can pray for my pastor, and make that a challenge, make that a starting point. Begin to believe for your church like never before. Or maybe you're already praying for your pastor. Begin to pray for the world. Maybe it's take on a new missionary. I was a missionary kid for a while growing up, and I know the difference that people's prayers had on my life and my family's life. Even as a kid, I saw the impact of their prayers. Well, you can do that today. You can touch anywhere in the world in an instant by your prayers. But the question is, will you do it? Will you commit to that? And so let me end this video with a challenge for you. I dare you moment. Why don't you commit to praying? If you haven't committed to praying for your pastor in church, why don't you send him or her an email today saying, I'm committing to praying for you. And maybe what specifically you're going to, when you're going to do it or whatever, to specifically when that prayer is going to happen. Or if you're already on board with that, maybe take on a missionary that you know and email or Facebook them and say, I'm committing to praying for you. I dare you, and see what happens to your prayer life. something that simple can make a huge difference, because you're engaging your emotion, engaging in something bigger than yourself. And that's where prayer gets fun. You begin to make a difference all around the world by your prayers. So let me encourage you to think big and dream big for the kingdom of God. And let's see what God would do. Well, we'll come back tomorrow with the final installment. And I believe it'll be something that could be powerful for your prayer life. Thank you.